TheOne put up such a fight versus Team Dignitas in Game 1. Let's see what they can bring on their own battleground choice in Game 2. What are we feeling for TheOne?
Illidan.
Yeah.
I think anything without micro is, or macro, excuse me, is going to be the biggest thing for TheOne. In my mind, it's being able to fall behind when it comes to the rotation, things of the like, but they stopped that on Volskaya Foundry, which is probably one of the better battlegrounds to have that kind of play style here, but going with the Infernal Shrine.
I do want to raise, though, that TheOne are sort of one of the macro teams in China, right? Like, it's not BTG, it's not the deathballing team, so as long as they're going in, you're not going to out-macro Dignitas, right? But as long as you can give yourself ample opportunities to fight, maybe that's the way they're putting at it. And Infernal Shrines gives them those points to fight, as long as Dig are willing to fight them on the Shrines.
At the same time, I'm looking at this battleground, I mentioned Illidan, but gosh, give me a Kerrigan on this. I would love to see TheOne run a Kerrigan composition. I think they have the ability to force fights as they want and secure kills as quickly as possible. With any fault, Blyze is destroying on that backline there for coming in here and being the range for the team. The sub is fitting in naturally. He doesn't even look at sub most of the time.
Or not.
Yeah, taking off the table already there with the first ban. And, you know, at the same page, with some of the signs of success we got of TheOne in the last game, I think, again, looking at Dignitas in the draft, how squishy of a hero is Point going to be on, and can TheOne capitalize on that? Because I do think that that has been, again, when Dignitas looks their weakest, it's finding ways to catch him off guard, like we saw the Cassia over the last round there. The Maiev being removed here by TheOne, understandably so. Pretty powerful hero.
Dignitas is not playing around with the Genji. His second ban comes in once again. After seeing TheOne play Genji yesterday, I can see why. Don't want to deal with that dive into the backline that we got consistently, especially paired well with the Jaina.
No Warriors yet in bans. This is a good map for Diablo. We've seen a lot of Garrosh. We're also seeing a rise in Tyrael. And which teams are willing to play him. It feels like it was something that happened maybe in the boot camps for Dignitas when they were playing with Korean teams, because it's mostly been Dignitas and the Korean teams. Though, Mindfreak played it earlier today. Dig first picked that Diablo, though. As I said, there's a lot of walls to throw people against.
Yeah, it's been really interesting, actually. I feel like you look at our ban patterns the last day or so, and we actually haven't had too many Warriors being banned as much as I thought we would. There's a three that are currently standing at the top that really do well, and they have that rotation, but there's a lot of Assassins that have been recently changed right now that are starting to fit well into the meta, and so suddenly you're getting these top-tier tanks once again. But another top-tier support on this battleground.
That's an early Alexstrasza. Is there a worry about a lot of counters there? I mean, there's already Diablo. You can Lightning Breath, you can try to force people off of the point.
Junkrat's really good on the battleground, pretty much direct counters. I mean, for anybody who's watched me commentate any part of the world, I struggle to support Alexstrasza. I think she is subpar almost across the board when it comes to supporting, especially with heroes like Whitemane being available on this battleground. Yes, it does kind of accent certain parts of the battleground and the shrine itself, but you don't always have to commit to that skirmish on the objective itself, and that is why it's a bold move here. I would like to see something to really heavily pair with the opportunity for the Cleansing Flame from above. So a dive target with it, make sure it gets on the backline of Dignitas, especially knowing they have a Hanzo Tyrande, and trying to find a way to get a kill that way. Otherwise, I feel like that high of an Alexstrasza is going to be something we look at the end of this game and go, that might be part of the problem.
Well, with maybe no Tyrael, I guess we could potentially still see as a secondary tank for Dignitas. Now, Blaze taken away, they are at least hoping that this time there won't be some of the saving factors that Dignitas had in the same way.
Yeah, you look at Dignitas and they have two things they can flex into here. You have your Rel and you also have the Dahaka, which I think we might get the Dahaka a little bit more here. The point that Dread brought up is that you can play around that Shrine phase and play around that Dragon cooldown if you really want to. One thing that Dignitas does really well in Europe is whenever they're playing against an Alexstrasza, they'll fake that they want to fight around the Shrine, and the moment that Dragon Queen gets popped up, they'll split out and make sure to fight around the entire map instead of focusing forward.
What about Leo? Any potential there?
I think Leo has a lot of room in this meta right now, but Wubby himself does not like Leo. But TheOne likes Leo.
Yeah, this could be, again, if for anybody who didn't tune into the games yesterday or doesn't watch much of China, but March of the Black King, a very common selection there for the Heroic on the side of the Leo. In this type of situation, I don't know whether or not I feel like I would like to see that over any of the others. Have to see the rest of the composition coming out from Dig, but so far, Dig has a very synergistic, overall, objectively powerful composition and provides a lot of threat to a Leo. One mark, it pretty much threatens every ounce of him, especially post-4 with the Tyrande pick up there, and gets a little bit more grim there, and the fact that Gul'dan also thrives into the matchup of a Leo.
Been watching more of TheOne with that March of the Black King, and while I enjoy Entomb way more, I think I understand it from the way that they play the game. They let Leo do whatever he wants to. Just let him get in the back line. If he's in trouble, march back with Black King. Just buy time. And March will do that for you, so I can understand the mentality behind it, and it's actually pretty darn strong if you're going for the Shrine fight and you get to the last couple of seconds of trying to clear up those minions. Here comes the Greymane for that dive that you were looking for earlier.
It does provide a little bit of that dive, but it's really interesting. Like, I would not commit to an Alexstrasza in my 1-2, and I know I'm more of the, I would almost never like kind of do that to my thought process, but it's mainly we're worried about the, well, if you pick the Alexstrasza, it's about do they commit to the Shrine, do they not? But then you're the one committing to the Greymane, and so suddenly it's like, well, then why'd you get the Alex if it was like win the Shrine, win the fight itself? Yeah, Greymane, you can make the argument synergizes a little bit with the siege capabilities afterwards, but to me, that feels, didn't have enough all in, but doesn't have enough Shrine control either. It feels kind of mixed all over the place here. Before
we get into this game and break down the draft potentially more with the casters, we can actually show you a bit of the game that Team Liquid won versus Gen G. When I was talking to Sake earlier today, he said Team Liquid is very strong, and there's a really cool combo that they set up here using their Jaina.
Ooh, the Nurok with a great follow-up there with the scroll, and Arcaner finding multiple kills here in the early game.
It's a really big setback to start on Tomb of the Spider Queen down a wave clear composition and losing 2 kills on the first wave. Team Liquid come out strong.
Sake, that's not going to be a place that Decker King wants to be. He's living for a long time, though.
That early game, man, seems like just giving Genji was not the call there as another pick, wow, over the wall. Team Liquid just seems to have brought the aggression here, and they're one of those teams that you don't know if they're going to bring out this fight in the early game, but they are capable of doing it.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, my.
Sign this kid up. My goodness, that was beautiful.
And the Goomba Stomp.
And what's crazy, look at this. The experience is actually still pretty close to the late game.
Yeah, it should be noted that that's a lot of the macro out of Gen G with their composition, I feel like here. That the Junkrat specifically, ring across
there it is again.
Stay a while.
Stay for forever.
Oh, they even had catapult pressure in the top lane too. Are they going to force a fight in the bottom and the catapult just win the game? Is that how it's going down? Yeah, look at the core, it's falling.
They've already killed Blaze, there's no Blaze there.
Webweaver, ignore that. Move in.
You just go core here, right? You just push in.
Yeah, bunker alone is enough damage. They don't have to, they just got to make it in.
Yeah, just run. Arcaner needs to switch strike in. Get on top of that core. It's down to 28%.
Stay. Not going to hit that many. Bunker down. Flamethrowers out. GG, no re.
Wow.
Excellently done. And welcome Retribution, I feel, for Team Liquid. They were winning game 1 versus Miracle heavily yesterday. And then the Towers of Doom come back that you know and love or fear. So that's a great win for Team Liquid and gives us a lot of questions about Gen G in the future. But now we're ready for game 2 between Team Dignitas and TheOne. Let's see if TheOne can get another 1-1.
I am standing next to a very happy German right now after seeing
I don't know what
that
you're talking
clip.
about.
I don't know either.
The German efficiency at work.
It's great to see Team Liquid coming online. Suddenly, that group becomes even more stressful now. We'll see if they can continue it in their future matchups. But for now, also looking for a bit of retribution, we are preparing for game number 2.
I'm not going to lie here. I really think that Dignitas is going to walk away with a very decisive victory on that second map. Looking at these drafts, despite everything that TheOne threw at Dig in game 1, I think these compositions are incredibly powerful for Dignitas and will favor their playstyle. JPL on that Diablo at that front line here in game number 2. We see Whoopi on Urel, Poik on Gul'dan, and you have Snitch on Hanzo, favorite for them on this battleground, and Zelia for the combo is playing Tyrande. Dignitas with a fantastic draft from their perspective.
And TheOne, they do have a couple comfort picks themselves. ZJZ on the Alexstrasza, Meng on the Greymane, Hugo on one of his favorites, the Yorick, and Hihi with that Garrosh. Lies is filling in with the Reyna for that damage follow-up. They have a couple comfort picks, but like you said, this Dignitas draft is scary. Now he's going to be looking at this and he's going to be real happy.
Yeah, TheOne walked away in game number 1 with a very streamlined composition that they executed quite nicely, where the entire idea of the draft was, let's kill people, let's get a good engage with Diablo, let's set some stuns up and then follow it up with burst. They executed that against Junkrat and Reyna multiple times and worked really well around this. Now they're missing that to an extent, and Dignitas has exactly that combo available for themselves. They have additional sustain throughout Urel, and I feel once we are getting to those Shrine fights, and especially after level 10, this is going to be a pretty one-sided game. I would be happy to be proven wrong here, but Dignitas is already starting the game off with a quick kill against Leoric at the top lane.
Yeah, following through on that Wraith Walk, perfect angle by JPL, quick pickup kill. Hugo, though, does just respawn in lane and picks up the XP where he left off, so doesn't actually lose that much here. But now Hehe is suffering a similar fate, getting chased down. Even Woomy coming in for the assist. Lunar Flare and quick heals from Alexstrasza though. We'll keep him alive for now, but Snitch, he's not done. Quick arrow to finish the kill.
Great play by Snitch here. Sidestep and then immediately getting the angle, and they're
Oh
not
my
stopping.
God.
There's the next kill, and this is exactly what I talked about. Dignitas, this is a great draft for them. This is exactly what they wanted. This is perfect for the map. They love these heroes on the map. The one just doesn't have the synergy they had in game number 1, and I would be shocked if the game at any point would change. What we've seen so far is exactly what I expect from Dignitas from here on out to the end.
Over half a level lead at 1 minute 40. That is very telling of how this is going. And we will see if Dignitas can just keep composed. That's all they have to do.
Also, they took out the fountain in the mid lane, a pretty neat trick that you can aim for. First of all, you know where it's positioned, so you can already poke away with Gul'dan against it and also with Hanzo. But once you take the camp, you try to provide a bit of vision, and those Khazras are just going to attack the fountain over the wall slightly, and then you just finish the job. So in this case, Dignitas has everything set up already. The lead in experience, the early kills, the dominance on the map, and already prepping the mid lane.
We're going to see the one trying to respond with a Paler camp of their own in the bot lane. And then they'll have to rotate up to mid to clean out the one that Dignitas took earlier. But this just gives a couple more corruption stacks over to Gul'dan.
The one thing that TheOne is going to try and do is, again, aim for plays around the Warlord's challenge. This is something that they played against Leftovers, and they're going to try and make similar plays against Dignitas here. Put Hehe into good position, trying to allow him to walk up, get the taunt in, and then follow it up with Greymane damage and also Reyna chipping in. This is where Dignitas has to be careful. But one of the reasons why I really feel that Dignitas will, throughout the game, just still hold on to that advantage is that with Tyrande, unless she's the target, they still have that double cleanse on the level 1. So once that comes in, you can taunt all you want, but you shouldn't be able to get into a position where you can just insta-burst targets like the one did against Leftovers.
I loved that play just then from Snitch, where if Hugo had finished his Wraithwalk a second earlier, would have eaten the full scatter arrow and would have certainly died. But now TheOne looking to make a play pre-level 7, trying to start to get some kills on the board. Instead, Hugo is in a similar scenario and is going to get taken down once again.
Leoric down already, 5 versus 4. Of course, he's going to be back soon, but Dignitas is focusing on the objective now. Taking the early lead, he wants the level 7 as well, indeed. But here comes the Dragon Queen.
That's going to be good. Hehe is going to get the healing from the abundance here. Hugo respawns, looking for the slogan to try and turn this round onto JPL. Wubby eats the wind buff. It is getting forced away. It might actually have bitten off more than he can chew here. Wubby dropping low and taken out, but it's the counter kill against Hehe.
Counter kill is there, and they still have the massive, massive lead when it comes to the objective. So they can move in with especially Gul'dan and Hanzo and secure those final minions that they need there. Could even try and delay it a little bit for Wubby to make his way over, but they grab it right away and are making their way towards the right with a level 7 talent advantage, trying to break through the wall.
And this is great. As much as Wubby would be nice, it makes more sense for him to head into the solo lane and keep soaking. And they know the biggest punishing hero in the form of Garrosh is not here for TheOne, so they can afford to push more aggressively at the start here. And that is exactly what we see them doing, marching onto this first fort of the game.
And look how scared TheOne is. They are terrified. They do not want the Punisher to jump on one of them and stun him out because they know that Zelia is going to be there. He will follow that up. Wubby now is the target of attention that we're seeing here at the bot lane, but right now Dignitas get an easy kill at the fort at the top. They have more than a level lead. They are looking fantastic here despite that one counter kill we saw from TheOne.
Hugo Wraithwalk, usually considered to be a bit of a safer ability here, but in this case he's just eating most of his health bar and nearly dying every time.
17 stacks already on Gul'dan's Echo Corruption on level 1. We still have JPL with a full stack of souls, and now the camps are taken once more. Dignitas on level 9 looking for the 10. This is a great start in the game for them. TheOne will have to somehow find these kills after level 10. This is really the big goal for them right now. Just like try and play around the second objective, grab the experience, split onto the maps, wait for heroics, and then try and make the play, and try to not die up to that moment.
Level 10 is just about to be hit by Dignitas, taking down another fort in the timing. Meng nearly dying. He hovers around for the abundance, but that is an interesting animation, but we see Meng get taken out.
Yeah, and that's even before level 10. Now we have heroic abilities, but you can see how Dignitas is pushing with the advantage. They are saying, guys, we pressure past your fort. What you gonna do? You're gonna fight us at the fort? We don't care. We wait for the minion wave to move in, and then we're gonna destroy you with heroic abilities. And the one has to play around it. So Dignitas is just taking everything right now. They are dominant on the map at this point. JPL again looking for the target. They are just done with this. They're saying, game one, way closer than we expected. The kill composition, you executed it well. This time we're going to draft a cleanse early. We are going to be the ones looking for the kills here, and you can see how they are bringing the fight.
They're even looking to weaken down this bottom lane, preparing for the next punishes they can move in and take down a keep. Leo is still split soaking for the one, trying to give them that level 10. But Dignitas, they are rushing level 13 at this point. They're almost at level 12.
Just look at the mid lane. The wave is again pushing into the fort. That's the last remaining fort of the one. They lost everything else. Top lane's gone, bot lane's gone. They are just waiting for the level 10 to finally have a chance of at least fighting back. But in the meantime, Dignitas isn't lazy. They're sitting there saying, we're taking everything you have and more.
There's level 12 for Dignitas, so they are approaching yet another talent tier advantage in one level's time. The one will finally hit their level 10, even grabbing a Fallen Shaman camp as well for a little bit of split pressure. But it might be worth delaying this due to the fact the objective has yet to spawn. They decide not worth the risk. Dignitas could just walk into their side of the map and take it.
Yeah, Dignitas waits a little bit so that they have a better time clearing the camp and then can push with that. So they time the camp properly. And the one right now relying on heroic abilities and team fight to do anything here.
March coming in once again. Dread called it earlier. They do like this ability, and also there's a lot of heroes who can either escape or benefit from the Entomb on the side of Dignitas, Diablo and Hanzo especially.
Now, I am actually more so worried about the level 13 talent than anything else, since Dignitas has a chance of even hitting another talent advantage here as they're heading into the objective, at least midway through. The one will have to fight here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a bullet as well. They're already trying to go for JPL here. There's the flip. Is that the kill? And they need it. Lightning grab, the arrow, the triple, the kill. Garrosh is down.
ZJZ now in full retreat. He's on the run. He might just have to pop Cleansing Flame when it's off cooldown. No, he's going to pop the Dragon Queen. Going to try and turn this round. Hugo trying to be a distraction as Meng gets the abundance. Cleansing Flame coming out, but look at how split they are. It's basically a 2 versus 5 right now with Meng getting completely isolated. Tries to chase Snitch, but can't keep up. Wobby's going to pick up the kill on Meng eventually. There we go with the Avenging Ground.
And the Hyperion didn't do anything. And right now we have camps pushing on every lane. Alexstrasza goes down too. Kill after kill in the hands of Dignitas as they focus their attention towards the shrine to take another Punisher. 9 kills against 1, a 2-level lead already. They have the level 13 talent advantage, and this is Dignitas just showing dominance on the map, making a statement here in game number 2 against China.
The one, they move to top lane. They defend their lane at least for the moment, but now they need to defend their base. The already weakened tier 2 defense with a Punisher, with a level 13, about to be 14 team Dignitas. The one, this is not looking good for them.
The game so far definitely was just the Dignitas show, and now they're coming for lunch money. Moving through the bot lane, trying to go for the first keep in the game, and maybe even more if they can find the kills. Their cooldowns are about to be ready. Watch for Hanzo, watch for that arrow. He's going to try and follow that up. There's already the first stun, and Zelia's also looking for a potential engage and follow-up.
Indomitable being burnt here. JBL's diving pretty deep. There's the lightning breath, but look at how grouped up they are, preparing maybe for the Horrify, which does land. And Wobby picks up an easy double kill under keep, and the rest of the one have nowhere to go and nowhere to live.
Make it a triple, baby. Down they go. Gul'dan is falling, but still, they can make the play for the corner as the Punisher moves in with another 37% health left. And this 10 minutes in could be the end of it, depending on the performance of Dignitas here. Death timers are low, though, and Dignitas might have to move away from this.
Hugo pulls the Punisher, gets a little bit of damage reduction. Meg is just waiting for the rest of his team. They're all about to respawn, but the core is beginning to tick down. Hyperion for the defense here. It's all or nothing for the one. The double stun from the Punisher, though, and Dignitas are looking healthy.
Once again, Dig goes in, and this is the end of it. The one goes down in game number 2 as Dignitas claims a flawless victory.
Much, much better in this game. As you said, Dignitas got everything they wanted, and they showed exactly why they are so strong with this kind of composition. 12 kills to 3 at the end of that game.
And for me personally, China within the next few days, the one they will have to prove that they can play more than simple pickup comps, because they have shown that they are great with it, especially with these Garrosh, Diablo setups that they normally like to play. But Dignitas was just turning things around against them and using a very powerful draft here in team fights, dominating early and then snowballing the game very smartly. Well done by Dignitas, claiming the 2-0 victory here, and at least for now, shutting down the ambitions of the Chinese team.
Dignitas sitting pretty at the top of their group, even more so now. But that is all from us. We're going to send you right back to our analysis desk to break down that game.
Well, a little bit easier of a win for Team Dignitas than Game 1, but nevertheless, there were some concerns from us about the Alexstrasza so early. Just grouping in general versus Gul'dan is going to make things really scary. I think I saw one 4-man Horrify and one 5-man Horrify. Oof, that's never fun.
One of the things that Dignitas also did really well too is they made sure to find a pick before we went into the Shrine phase. It happened multiple times against Hugo in particular. And if you're able to find a pick, you get that 5v4, you get on the Shrine, you suddenly get a lead. That's where Alexstrasza falls off dramatically. You want to be able to get in the lead in numbers or even be even. Around 20 minions, you pop the dragon and you finish that puppy. And they weren't able to do that because of the picks that Dignitas were able to find.
And the one thing for Dignitas that I really like from them from game 2 compared to game number 1 is beyond the drafting, maybe adjustments that we would like to see, I think they just played far more cohesively. Yeah. We did see Poik maybe in an optimal circumstance, they'd be very effective with his Horrifies, but overall, he wasn't the only one. JPL on the Diablo, his Lightning Breath timing and usage was very cleverly done in most cases, had to follow up with the Dragon's Arrow, so I feel like Dig just kind of cleaned things up and it looked far more intimidating as a roster.
So now there is a new storyline for the One, and that is they have the one game where they are dominating, and if you could beat them through that, then you're able to take a 2-0, but they still have this weird setup where one game is super strong and one game things just don't work out for them, and it's a snowball to the end.
Another thing, too, is it seems like they're trying to react based on what they've seen in the past. Yesterday, we actually had Linked do very well on Alexstrasza against the One, and now we have Alexstrasza coming out the next day, and it feels like they tried to adapt, but they weren't able to incorporate the plays that Link was able to show off against them. So if they're going to be picking up these heroes, they need to make sure they are primed and ready, because the Alexstrasza did not pay off, and there was a lot of missed timings that are very hard to pull off against a team that's coordinated like Dignitas.
Yeah, Alexstrasza is pretty big in China, in the Chinese region, like 365, looking at him, that's one of his like signature heroes, but I totally agree, especially at least with the placement that you see in the draft, making some adjustments there. Thank you guys so much for your analysis. Thank you guys for hanging out with us here at the HGC Finals. We're going to go to a break. After the break, Leftovers versus Tempest. That's a good one.
Diablo engage.
Yeah, I like the attempt here. They go for JPL. The stun is not hitting, but it's not even needed. Sanctification to negate the last rights. The level 10 comes just in time. Great reaction here from Dignitas, but that was close. The One nearly grabbing a kill.
A couple inches to the right. A beautiful concussion mine, and Snitch makes up for those 2 kills onto him with a sick double kill. Root does not land onto ZJZ, able to pull back Meng. Drop them so close to level 20, pushing that top lane. Shadow Storm is being used. There's the Valkyrie, and a quick blow up onto Raider. Can they hold this? They're looking for Zalia as well. They get him.
Double kill against Dignitas, but they're still on the core. The shields are gone. They're trying to make the play, but Woomy falls, and I don't think Dignitas can pull this off. Even with Arena, they're dropping it already, but that's not going to be enough. The Tyral Explosion is going to take a couple more % off, but there's Junkrat. He's down, and that's just not enough.
Tyral's just leaving. He wants nothing. 6 on second. The One. What are you doing? This is insane. But Employ is so crazy, it just might work.
Here comes the Hyperion. Hugo goes down already. The shields are gone. The core is falling. Dignitas is back with them. Only Junkrat is missing. The jet propulsion doesn't hit.
Meng.
They go for Meng, and he goes down. Flamethrower into the ground.
They're done.
That is the end of the core attempt of the One.
That seems like overkill. He dies anyway, just to a minion.
Even more if they can find the kills. Their cooldowns are about to be ready. Watch for Hanzo, watch for that arrow. He's going to try and follow that up. There's already the first stun, and Zelia's also looking for a potential engage and follow-up.
Indomitable being burnt here. JBL's diving pretty deep. There's the lightning breath, but look at how grouped up they are, preparing maybe for the Horrify, which does land. And Wubby picks up an easy double kill under keep. And the rest of the One have nowhere to go and nowhere to live.
Make it a triple, baby. Down they go. Gul'dan is falling, but still, they can